Is up late with me tonight, live here on the Final Five. Donte, hello. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Okay, so look, we know, I remember that morning in 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein turned up dead in his cell. And you knew from that moment on it was going to be an issue of a flashpoint of conspiracy theories, and people are going to wonder what happened here. We're no closer, it seems, to getting any clarity on that with the different information coming out from the White House and the DOJ.
Well, Jim, we're further away because we have conflicting stories and reports. One, you just played the clip of Pam Bondi saying she had the list on her desk being reviewed, and then the other clip from the same person saying there is no list. So it seems like they're muddying the waters a little bit more. My big concern with this is you have somebody who was in Epstein's orbit, Donald Trump, and he's the one pulling the strings about how much of the information is being released and whether or not this investigation is moving forward at all. And he's decided, you know, he didn't do anything wrong. I guess nobody else did anything wrong. There's nothing to see here. And we are not even allowed to talk about it. And that's just concerning to me when we are supposed to live in this country where there's checks and balances and things are being done in plain sight so that everybody can know that the right thing is happening. We have victims here, young children who are taken advantage of, and we just don't know who did it. And I guess we'll never find out.
That has been to the refrain over the weekend, because going into the second iteration of the Trump presidency, there were calls for transparency on all sorts of things, including Jeffrey Epstein. And I think rightfully so, because there were so many powerful names. And to be fair, there were already there were lists out there of people he had contacts with, and politicians from both sides of the aisle. I know Bill Clinton's name had been brought up in a lot of this stuff too. But the point is, there was all this talk about going into it, and now we're being told, oh, it's over, open and shut, don't discuss it, don't bring it up. The president snapped at a reporter for bringing it up the other day during that cabinet meeting.
Absolutely. And again, this is not a political thing. There were victims here, serious victims. And in fact, one of the victims committed suicide, even at an older age, because of what she was put through as a young girl. And what's happening now is we're saying it doesn't matter. Whoever tormented her, whoever took advantage of her sexually, we're going to let them get away with it scot-free, because we just don't want, I don't even know why. There's no reason given why this investigation is being tampered or put away. They're just saying it's over. There's nothing to see. Stop talking about it. President Trump said, this guy died years ago. Why are you still talking about this? Because the people that he tormented are still dealing with it. And there's someone in Epstein's orbit, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years for facilitating this. Who was she facilitating it for? There has to be some people. She's not sitting in jail for 20 years for sex trafficking where there were no people that she was trafficking to. So there clearly was something happening here, and for it to just be brushed aside when, you know, there was big talk about it during the campaign and entering this presidency, a lot of people are uneasy with that.
So you're right. This should not be a political thing. It should not be, because there's so many things, Donte, that you and I talk about and that we've seen. I think the Diddy trial is a great example, where there are people who are in the crossfire, everything caught up. They were hurt. They were damaged as human beings at the hands of other human beings. But in this case, what does it take for somebody in this government, Democrat, Republican, whatever, to get up and say, we are going to pick up this investigation where the AG won't? Or is that over and done with?
It's over and done with. And that's the biggest concern I have, is it doesn't matter. We can scream from the rooftop that this is unfair, but the Department of Justice said it's over. The president said it's over. And nobody can kind of overstep that and demand that this investigation continue, or that what's been found throughout this investigation be released so that someone can be brought to justice. So unfortunately, we're in a position where we're saying this shouldn't have happened, but it did, and there's not much that anybody can do with it. And as an attorney, that's my biggest concern. The foundation of this country, the Constitution, was based on checks and balances. So there is no king. So there is no one person that can decide this is over and nobody can do anything about it. But that's the situation that we're dealing with here.
It's just amazing that in a matter of months we went from we're going to get to the bottom of this to, oh, well, but that's another story for another day.
Stop talking about it. Stop asking me. Jim, why are you still talking about this? Come on.
That's why I brought you on, so I can let you go at it.
So you wouldn't get in trouble by the president. Thanks. Thanks.
Donte, we appreciate it. Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you.
And coming up next in the Final Five, we're going to talk about much more in the world of politics. Stick around.